Oh, push down.
First of all, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. This is truly a historic moment for the Atlantic Coast Conference. With me here today are members of the ACC Council of Presidents as we are concluding our annual fall meeting that this year was held here in Chapel Hill. I'm joined on the dais by University of North Carolina Chancellor Holden Thorpe, the current chair of our Council of Presidents, as well as Clemson University President Jim Barker and Wake Forest University President Nathan Hatch. On behalf of the ACC Council of Presidents, it is my distinct pleasure to announce Notre Dame as the 15th member of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And with us today from the University of Notre Dame are President Father John Jenkins and Vice President and Director of Athletics Jack Swarbrick. Welcome to you both. The ACC was founded on the cornerstones of balancing academics, athletics, and integrity. And the addition of Notre Dame only strengthens this long-standing commitment that this league has. Academically, Notre Dame enhances the league's unique blend of public and private institutions that are international in scope. As an example of the ACC's future 15-member league, 11 schools rank among the top 58 institutions in the recently released 2013 U.S. News and World Report survey of America's best colleges. That is more than any other conference also competing at the highest level athletically. In terms of athletics, the Irish have marquee programs that boast great tradition and great success. In addition, the collective alumni and fan bases of our conference will become even stronger while covering the entire country with exceptionally strong roots up and down the Atlantic coast. The ACC's Council of Presidents has done a terrific job throughout this process, and I'd like to thank them for their solidarity, their vision, their professionalism, and their diligence in getting us to this point today. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the membership committee, our 444 committee, that is made up of 4 presidents, athletic directors, and faculty representatives. Again, let me say how pleased we are to have the University of Notre Dame join the Atlantic Coast Conference. This is indeed a monumental day in the history of our league. And at this time, I'd like to welcome Chancellor Holden Thorpe, the chair of the ACC Council of Presidents, to the podium for a few remarks. Chancellor.
Thank you, John. As John said, I'm Holden Thorpe, and I'm the Chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and also this year serving as the Chair of the Council of Presidents for the Atlantic Coast Conference, and we've been delighted to host our meeting here the last couple of days, and this is indeed an exceptional day for the Atlantic Coast Conference. Father Jenkins and Jack, we are so glad to have you with us, and on behalf of my colleagues, welcome. We are delighted to have Notre Dame join the league, an institution whose mission embodies the rich tradition and culture of the ACC. I would like to take this opportunity to also thank President Jim Barker and Nathan Hatch, who played integral roles on behalf of the Council in making today's announcement a reality. The Atlantic Coast Conference is a vibrant and competitive league, and we will continue to be dedicated to the values and principles upon which this league was formed 60 years ago. It is with great enthusiasm that we make this announcement today, and again, welcome.
Chancellor, thank you. And at this time, please join me in welcoming our newest member, led by Father John Jenkins, President of the University of Notre Dame. Father Jenkins.
The University of Notre Dame is extraordinarily proud to join this great athletic conference composed of such outstanding institutions of higher education. I want to personally thank Chancellor Thorpe, John Swarbrick, President Nathan Hatch, and President Jim Barker, and all the ACC presidents for allowing us to continue traditions in football that go back nearly a century while being a part of this great conference. You know, at Notre Dame, athletics are important in themselves, and also through our history have allowed us to enrich the institution as a whole. Our partnership with the superb institutions of the ACC will enhance greatly the University of Notre Dame as a whole, and Notre Dame is fully committed to enhancing the ACC and its member institutions. Thank you very much, and I'd like to introduce someone who's worked very hard and very skillfully to bring us to this day, our Director of Athletics, Jack Swarbrick.
I'm not sure I could imagine a more appropriate setting for this announcement than this venue. In my first year as a Director of Athletics at Notre Dame, we played here. And as I, in the pregame period, walked campus with my family, I had not visited here before, so we took the opportunity to walk around. I was struck by how much the atmosphere was like it was at our home games, how welcoming people were as they identified us as visitors and part of the Notre Dame family. It's that welcoming nature, it's that same approach toward athletics and its role in a university that makes us so pleased to be here today. Sports has always played a very specific role at Notre Dame. It has two functions. One is to contribute to the education of students, and the other is to promote the university. This partnership helps us do both very effectively. By joining such a prestigious group of universities who share our commitment to athletics as an educational vehicle, not as something secondary to the mission of education, but as something core to it, we will further the education of our student athletes. And by being part of a conference with such a perfect geographic fit for us, we are able to effectively promote our university. For example, in the next 5 years, in part because of this great partnership, we'll be able to be in 10 of the 11 largest cities in America with our football program to help promote our university. And that's what we think it should do, promote the educational mission. The competitive result is also great. I met this morning with our coaches and informed them for the first time of what would happen, and their reaction was very positive. Coach Bray, our head basketball coach, who's very familiar with this part of the world, has joined us today. And what they were especially excited about was the competitive implications for them. I think unquestionably, in a host of sports, this is the best athletic conference in the country, and we will only make it better in that regard. Importantly, this is a story of moving to something great, not away from something. We are very thankful for the opportunity to have been a member of the Big East. We will continue to be a committed member during the remainder of our stay in that conference, and it has been a good home for us. But for the reasons I stated, this creates a new and exciting opportunity for us to advance even further, to serve the mission of athletics at Notre Dame. And in that regard, we are very thankful to this conference and its leadership. Presidents Thorpe and Baker and Hatch, played such an important role in making this possible. Special thanks to Commissioner Swafford. He and I have spent a lot of time together the past 2 years. We're going to have to pick out China pretty soon, I think, with all the BCS meetings we attended. And it was a natural byproduct of the relationship we built through that process that these discussions began. And special thanks from my perspective to the leadership of our university. University presidents would always be rather doing something other than athletics, but Father Jenkins has been such a great partner to me in working through the difficult issues related to all of this. And to him, our executive leadership, and especially our Board of Trustees, I say thank you. On behalf of the coaches and student athletes of the University of Notre Dame, we thank you and give you our commitment to be a great member of this great conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Jack. I feel like I've got, as a commissioner, the best group of presidents that any commissioner in this country could have. They're terrific to work with. They obviously have vision, they have strength, they have wisdom. And I'm going to call one of them up to speak with you that's had a great deal to do with these discussions. But before I do so, let me also acknowledge and introduce President Charles Steger from Virginia Tech, who is with us, and President Eric Barron of Florida State University, who is still with us. During these discussions, there were two presidents that spent a great deal of time on this. We're in a great deal of discussions with me. We're in discussions at times with Father Jenkins and with Jack Swarbrick. And what an incredible job that they did. And I'd like to ask Nathan Hatch, the president of Wake Forest University, to come up and offer remarks. He and Jim Barker were just absolutely outstanding during this process. President Hatch.
Thank you, John. I have had a distinct and privileged history with deep roots both in the Atlantic Coast Conference and with the University of Notre Dame. The Hatch family actually has roots 15 miles south of here, Pittsburgh, that go back to the 18th century. My father's a Duke graduate, and I grew up in the heart of ACC country. But I was also privileged to serve for a number of years as faculty member, dean, and provost at Notre Dame. And so while on a personal level, I think this coming together, having Notre Dame as a new member of the ACC is so terrific. And let me just mention two things. As has been said, Notre Dame and the institutions of the Atlantic Coast Conference believe in the balance of academics, athletics, and integrity. We believe in doing athletics right. We're committed to that. We're committed to the well-being of student athletes. And together, I think we can even do a better job towards that end. The other thing is academics. We are universities, after all. And Notre Dame, like the members of the Atlantic Coast Conference, are serious about becoming better universities. And I think the addition of Notre Dame will help our academic collaborative as we together try to say, how can we help each other in our important missions on behalf of students. So on behalf of the ACC family, its institutions, and its many fans, let me welcome the family of the Fighting Irish, and particularly Father Jenkins. Welcome.